to their team fight, this Faceless Void is something I'm very worried about, but I don't think it's going to get there. I feel like Raven might have a little bit of an edge in regards to just their execution, and execution is incredibly important when you have this fast-paced lineup that I think they're going to be able to hit.
Miggy, he will have that right-click advantage in the lane by about 17 damage, so assume that he's going to get a lot of these right-click trades against the Void Spirit super early on. Should be setting himself up to have that early lead. What are we doing about?
What is this set? It's like I'm watching Stranger Things or something. It sounds
on the Void?
Yeah, scary goddamn monster. What
it's like,
am I looking
It's like Dota
at?
1 days, bro. Looks
Yeah,
very
so,
similar to the old Dota 1 Void.
And that's the same with the Razor, right?
Yes. The old Lightning Revenant was what Razor was previously.
Oh my god. I did actually...
I think Dark Terror was Faceless Void's game in... Faceless Void's name in Dota 1, sorry.
I did see an image of 6 photos of Chronosphere, and they all look different. What am I just... Was I wrong? Did I it was a quick glance. Oh, mid lane?
It's a little trippy. Like, I think there's... It's a little bit too big in a sense. Like, there's a lot of... you don't exactly see what's going on inside the Chronosphere because it's all obscured by a bunch of tendrils flashing around. You'll see it.
But can there be like 6 different...
I'm not sure.
Kind of... Okay. Oh. Zika almost the same thing as last game. Just being a bit of a nuisance here. Trying to take away one of the bounty runes. It will be a 2 for 2 nonetheless. He's going to take a lot of damage though. Fire Blast coming back up shortly. The Sex will be able to connect to put the pressure on, at least giving Zika an opportunity to step back towards the tower.
Kara's plus 20 damage, putting in work though. 72 now on the Ogre with that club. Pretty nice. Devastating for the lane.
Do you feel like we might see the Windlace a little bit more on Ogres, or like the Orb of Venom build that we saw a while ago?
I'm always a fan of the Orb of Venom. I mean, the only downside is eventually you need to sell it, whereas Windlace, you could just convert it into other stuff like Boots of Bearing and stuff.
I wonder if that... Okay, so I just noticed this now. They're playing Mars and Clock together. I really don't like this lane setup. I know you mentioned the potential of the Spear into Cogs. I really think Mars needs to be played with the ranged hero. So I think this is going to be a free lane for Dart to farm.
I think it's the only... Like, I feel like they're just really happy with their 2 other lanes. So they just took the L, basically, and said, look...
Sure, yep.
We picked these relatively early on. We kind of expected this to happen. If we get kills, great, but... Faceless Void plus Snapfire, that's a kill lane. Pudge against the Void Spirit, that's a winning lane. So we'll be happy enough to better than break even.
So do you feel like then down bottom, because you mentioned this is a kill lane for Dreamers, do you need to itemize accordingly to enable kills? Is there anything they need to do differently?
No, I don't think it's necessarily itemization. I think it's more about just, like, you've already got the Blightstone on Sexy Yoge, so you could kill either of these 2 heroes very early. And now that they're level 2, that opening is here. Although they did go and let that range creep die without being denied, so you've got level 2 to play with as well on Raven's side. Just playing around with the toss right now is Dismar, and Sexy Yoge will know this, because it was used previously. So makes things a little bit more difficult. Up top, doesn't look like he's under too much threat of dying here on Zika. He'll be able to back off.
We get to see how our mid matchup shake me up. Nengo Fleur had an incredible Game 1 performance against the mid lane Pudge, where we really sort of was trying to showcase how strong this Pudge was able to be played in the 2 role, because everyone else revealed as a 1 and a 3. I'll hold that thought, because we do have some action down bottom, but a Cookie's going to be able to reposition, and this bar will take about half this health pool. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, it was really Ori on Asher that showcased that this Pudge can be played in multiple other roles, and it fits very well around the 2.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, any time that you've got a huge right-click advantage, any time that you're able to punish a low-armor hero, that's what Pudge is for. He's kind of fulfilled that 3rd tier behind a Conqueror and an Ember Spirit, especially if the damage types as well on the enemy team not necessarily spiking high damage, it's more of that gradual slow, which is exactly what a Visage has, for example. You're just going to be able to counter out familiars constantly hitting you. You're going to be able to counter out a lot of the tiny damage as well, because the Avalanche, it's lots of little bits of damage coming back to back. Same sort of thing with the Ogre, so it's really on the back of Void Spirit and perhaps the Luna with the Eclipse that's going to be the avenue for Pudge to die.
We do see he's having a very good time up top. Kara, I don't think he cares about being stuck in the cogs, honestly. He's got a crap load of damage, and he's going to stand his ground to man fight, but Zika, he'll come out on top thanks to the stick charges. One more right click from Dart, though, will get himself a kill. Meanwhile, bottom lane, though, Sexy Yoge, he goes down. Kukulhook still got the time walk to play with, so we'll be able to get back down to the south side, but Dismar toss Benja's in.
Well, I don't know if you should attack. He's just feeding him Soul Assumption.
Dude, I cannot get this out of my head. Yeah, have you seen Stranger Things? This is literally looks like a Stranger. You hang on, what? You say I'm uncultured and you haven't seen Stranger Things?
Just because it came out recently doesn't mean it's cultured.
What? That was the fourth season. There's been so many other seasons.
I have not seen it. Okay.
I am incredibly disappointed.
Things to do.
Oh, right. I mean, I say the same thing and shit. That's not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it isn't.
Okay, you have to watch it. Then you can at least understand that this is a... I don't know, this just looks incredibly scary. I wouldn't want this running at me in my nighttime horrors.
I wouldn't running at me during the day either.
Top lane, Lissex. Another coax into the spear. Dart's going to be pushed out instead. Some stick charges and strength threads to play with, so he's going to consider about turning to get the beam into Lissex, but is lacking the mana to help Kara chase him down.
I still really feel like they can get a kill on this bottom lane. Like, you can look to commit. You've got 2 points to the time lock.
Lissex?
You've got time dilation.
Ooh, okay, he's going to be fine. Nemo Dart, though, is the one that's in trouble. He's got the range creep to tank up the battery salt. Now, Kara
my God,
as well is going to tank it. Oh, no. The tower
Lissex,
damage
no.
and the fire blast, but it's not enough. Kara, he doesn't have the damage by himself, and the smash of the shield takes the Luna's life. We've got Chaos up top and mid lane as well. Chaos continues as Migi just misses the hook. Had to go for the guess and went up top instead of the left. He's still going to chase down the Engo flow, but it's okay.
Is that free health and mana refill
Iggy?
too?
Another TP's coming out.
Toss back?
I
the
don't
slow.
know if they're going to get this, man. Maybe with the Ignite slow now, but I think they need the extra damage
Dismember
from the
one.
tower, and now that they're out of range, they might struggle with bringing him down, but they've got Sexy Yoga nearby. So a Cookie gets him out and hook back in. Oh, me. He's missing a couple of hooks so far. I'm not keeping up exactly, but he's struggling.
I mean, he couldn't have hooked any further right. You know, that would have just hit the range creep. He wanted to go... You couldn't just use the Dismember with the Ogre chasing as well, right? He needed to try and find a way to isolate the Tiny, and then maybe you get a kill onto him with the assistance of the Snapfire. So I get it, but yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate for sure.
I get it too, but it's still a missed hook. I can't let it go. You have to keep the hook counter going as well. At least Migi down bottom. This is a nice rotation. Benj... Oh, the...
Zika top two.
Oh, no, he missed the hook. Benjaz should still go down. They're able to surround him, although Dismar's got to step in with a combo, but Kukulhook just gets the time walk away. The nick of timing, but...
Body blocked him.
He's still got enough Soul Assumption charges. Bottom lane, Miki's going to try and turn it around with the Dismember, but they're going to be cautious because Benjaz with another round of the Soul Assumption and one more right click. Another lane that the Visage is able to thrive in, and meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we've got a dive under the tier 1 tower. Lissex, along with Zika, gets another double kill onto the duo of the Lina and the Ogre.
Yeah, the lane that Aries said had absolutely no chance of doing well is doing a fantastic job.
I'm incredibly impressed. They're really playing this lane very well.
I mean, it just means that you can land the spear anywhere. You know, that's what I was talking about with this combination. Cogs, always available. You can cut down as many trees as you want. I mean, this time around, it wasn't a Quelling Blade. It was the arena, getting rid of the tower, the trees to the south of the tier 1 top tower. But still, they're doing a fantastic job playing together.
Oh, yes. Very cool. You mentioned the Luna potential with having the global already at 5 minutes. And you've already got the familiars to play with. So, yeah, I actually don't know if Kukahook can lane down bottom, top lane.
Well, he doesn't have a choice. He's got 30 seconds left on his TP, so you're going to need to stay down here for the next little bit.
Zika's going to try and step into Karo's location. There should be another kill onto the Ogre. 4 deaths. Oh, no bueno.
No bueno indeed. What did they nerf about the Ogre? Was it his base regen? I feel like it was. It went from like 4 to 0.5 or something like that.
Yep.
Still though, plenty of armor. Not enough to be able to tank through all that damage though, coming through from the Clockwork with the battery assault now that it's level 3 too.
What's goddamn shenanigans? Zika just doesn't want to let Dard get back to the jungle. Oh, he went 2-0-3 build here for Dard, so no points unfortunately in the Glaives to be able to keep up in farm. Meanwhile, mid lane, Migi is just proving to be a nuisance. Easy half health taken care of.
Stealing away the bounty rune too. Oh, Yoge will be able to get it in Kara's face.
Bottom lane,
Also
the
taking away the
control
top
needs to be
tower.
perfect, and it might be. Banjaz gets the kill. Sexy Yoge is going to reveal his position now, so Dismar's going to try and see if he's still in the tree line, but a big kill onto Kukahook. Dismar might be able to find him. Avalanche is up in a couple seconds, but no one nearby to get that toss back if he was able to find the initial stun.
I think you can feel very confident in the fact that Faceless Void is not coming back down bottom. It is Clockwork that's actually doing it. I'm not sure Zeke is going to be able to accomplish that much down here, though. And you're going to have to defend against multiple heroes. Nice toss back by Dismar to be able to
Beautifully done.
get that gap a little bit further away. And well, I'm wrong. Void comes straight back down into this meat grinder down bottom. I mean, Luna just TP'd bottom recently. She's farming inside the triangle right now, but very capable of just joining the rest of the team.
Cookie on forward. They will finally be able to catch up to Dismar. He does have a couple of heroes playing around him. Dismar's not going to go down, and now Kara gets the extra stun lock onto Sexy Yoge. And Migi, there's not much he's really going to be able to do here from the Pudge to offset this. Oh no, the hook doesn't connect as well on Benjaz. Are they going to be okay? Ravens, get the kill onto the Clockwork, who is relatively high leveled. You've got the Luna catching up in farm. You also, this was happened off screen, but Lissex also used the Arena top, I think, to try and solo kill Niango Flow. So that's now Arena on cooldown for 45 seconds.
I don't think you really care all that much on the Arena, though. Like, it has a few combinations that are effective. I think most of the time you want to try and catch out this Luna, of course, because she's not able to attack outside of it. She doesn't have a really easy way to get out other than a TP. So it does confirm a lot of kills super easily. Mid lane's the bigger prospect right now. They just need to continue to play around this siege creep as much as they can. Just going for a few blind hooks on there on Miggy to try and catch out anyone trying to defend, but well, they end up keeping this tier 1 tower. We know as Dire it's incredibly important to keep as much control of your jungle as you can. Losing that tier 1 tower top at around the 8 or so minute mark doesn't help, so that's why they just put so much emphasis on retaining mid.
Kukahook should be able to chase down Dismar, especially with Sexy Yoge nearby. You would hate to drop the chrono for it, and he's not going to do so. Meanwhile, Zeker's trying to solo kill Dard. He killed the wrong cogs. Oh no, the cogs. He tried to get rid of the one next to the tree, so he couldn't even escape regardless. A solo kill. Lissex had to use the spear as well, I suppose, to help out, but Arena's going to be laid down. A beautiful placement of the Arena. Niango Flow's going to try and chase him down. The Remnant will secure the kill. They're doing a really good job to kite Migi, though. An Avalanche into the toss closer to Benjaz. He's going to go for a TP out, but the burst is there. Soul Assumption, along with Niango Flow's damage output, puts a shot to the Pudge's life.
I feel like that's very different as Sexy Yoga is just there, though, right? Like, he's playing around the Faceless Void a good amount, and you understand it because Void hasn't had the easiest time in the laning stage, but if you're going to make a play like that on the Clockwork, you say, I'm diving super deep, I'm playing around this Observer Ward that I've placed at the bottom of the stairs, just outside of the Dire base. You got to be there on the Snapfire. You should have telegraphed exactly a lot of these movements and be there to join the rest of your team. So we'll see if that's the one mistake that they need to be able to clean up a few of these early mishaps.
Does seem like though for Ravens, they are Benjaz is top of their net worth, which I think is incredibly important for their tempo control in a game like this. If he can find a Wraith Pact at a decent timing, we could see the towers start to fall. And again, this is a lineup that I do think needs to start to get active pretty early on, because you got Kukahook that's finding a lot of farm across the map. Already Javelin, along with the Mask of Madness completed. We'll be working on the Maelstrom next.
Still feels like it'll reach a point though where this this Void Spirit might not necessarily be able to deal with not necessarily the damage, but just how tanky they are on Dreamers, right? Like, is Void Spirit going to be able to go through 4 Strength heroes plus a Pudge with Flesh Heap plus a Faceless Void that can just time walk off anything that isn't a 100-0 chain stun?
Yeah, no, that's a really good point.
Speaking of Void, they're going to pop the smoke here. They just moved a little bit further away on the clockwork, so if they were there, they would have seen that smoke pop and been able to convert with the Chronosphere into the Mortimer's Kisses, but instead it might actually be the opposite. They could look to convert this onto a kill onto a couple of supports here. It's going to be Kara that reveals himself first.
Oh no. Flies over Sexy Yoga's position, so no way. Okay, Cookie down, but yeah, go Flare. We'll be able to catch him up, so a little bit awkward. Trying to do some shenanigans to block up some of the camps, but now with heroes showing across the map, Dard will go back to farming, and they're gonna stall this one out a little bit. Who do you feel like this truly favors, though? Because again, I feel like Ravens are fine with trying to work towards their next set of items and then ramp up the pace of this game. But what do you feel like?
I feel like it would favor Dreamers if you went a slightly different build on Miggy. Like, he's going into the Aghanim Scepter, which is incredibly standard. But I'm not sure the Blink Dagger is going to do much this game, right? Like, unless you're using it specifically to get odd angles for the hooks. But in terms of, like, Blink dismembering anyone, look at all the different interrupts that you've got. Literally every single hero has a way to be able to stop a Blink dismember onto a target. And with the way that Ravens are playing, they're not too far away from each other at any moment in this game. He is going into the Ags first, it seems like. Picks up the point booster first, so I like that. But it's really only going to be after the Ag Scepter, Blink plus BKB, where he really feels like he can look to regularly contribute to a lot of these team fights. It's going to need to be pickoffs until then, or on the back of Kukahook on his Faceless Void.
Who's still continuing to play down bottom, yet to see that first Chronosphere of the game. Top lane though, and go flow in this X battle lane out, just trying to contest some of the farm up there, nothing too crazy, but yeah, I'm a bit surprised that we haven't seen Mortimer Kisses into the Chrono. Maybe they feel like if they use their ultimates, and Ravens might just consider about taking the T1 tower mid lane. Top, I think the Void Spirit should be fine. Just some poke and prod, trying to force some reactions. Mid lane though, we got a Dismember out. Dismar, toss in, beautiful toss from Dismar. What's making a very awkward position is going to try and hook Zika away from the aggression, but unfortunately that is not enough. The damage has already been dealt.
The thing I like about this, though, is that they're making a commitment with a couple of heroes. Sure, it's nice if the Pudge is getting a little bit more farm, he's dropping off a bit, but Mars is farming heavily. Faceless Void is farming heavily, and really the only one that's doing that on Raven's side is the Luna. She's going to be able to do it a little bit quicker, but it still feels kind of nice. It's keeping the net worth level, even though the kill score isn't.
Smoke from either side.
Lane. This will be a big play. Looking to try and bait in the... might just be waiting for that Grave Chill to expire and then look to go for the play. Clockwork hanging around. Has the hookshot available in 3. Looks like they might be happy enough just to take this tier 1 tower, although they're going to be going for the deny, end up getting it.
Oh. Pretty close with the hook there from Miki. Not able to catch anyone out. Benjaz just chilling for the moment. See what the play is going to be, though, for them. Again, Radiant with no ultimate committed for that tier 1 tower. They will be ready if Ravens want to answer back for their own siege. And again, they're just getting a lot of farm across the map. Faceless Void chilling out by the triangle. The rest of the team, a couple of them still playing kind of the death squad, so to say. You got the Pudge with the Snapfire together. Snapfire is even making sure he kind of plays with the Clockwork as well in case there's a hook into the Mortimer Kisses. So both sides feel very content with farming at the moment. We're going to have a lot of action break out shortly once the items are picked up.
Sure if hooking a single range creep is going to accomplish too much, and looks like they will be losing a mid tier 1 tower, but the thing that they are doing
They're
well,
rapping.
again...
Look at Dismar. Goes all the way behind the tier 1 tower. Beautiful pathing out of the Tiny. They'll just net themselves 1 kill. They do see Migi as well. Let's see what they want to try and do with this.
Don't think they can.
Nothing too crazy.
Like, until you got the Blink Dagger, Dismar doesn't have that blink to be able to get the toss back into the rest of the team. Even then, probably is able to pop the Flesh Heap. Zix walks into Dismar. Almost worth dropping the arena to get this kill, just to slow down the Blink Dagger.
Wraithback's going to be laid down. Meanwhile, down to the south, though, in the Echo Flow, having the double damage room puts a lot of damage into Migi, but there's the combo finally.
There's the kisses.
Arena into the Mortimer kisses, but Benjaz, he's playing with the Aghanim Shard early on, so all the damage mitigation. They've got the Chrono to potentially turn it around, but can they get the damage inside the bubble? It might not be possible as the Engo Flow jumps in with the Aghanim Scepter. They get the Sansa, control Faceless Void, and our Seeker too will be chased down as Ravens only lose the Tiny.
Oh my god is right, and it is just the consequence, right, of letting this Visage have a much freer lane than she probably should have had. He should have had. You've also got no Glyph available, with that being used 2.5 minutes ago. Again, Luna, what can you do against this? Bloodlust plus the Familiars, Tower's going to go away, map's going to shrink. The thing that I was about to mention for Dream is that they'd been playing the top side of the map fairly well. That's where they had the majority of the vision for most of this game. And they have the lane pushed in where they didn't actually have the Glyph available for themselves. Not that they have the greatest heroes to be able to take towers, but I thought maybe they could have put a little bit more emphasis onto playing around that top side of the map, considering that is the area that they had the most information at the time. But, well, all it takes is one movement with those, with the level 2 Familiars, with the Wraith Pact. And well, maybe now they'll have to change targets as to who they want to go on to.
Oh, man. The burst potential between the Engo Flow along with Mr. Dismar. A lot of damage between the two as Zeke is going to be blown up. And this is now, with BKB almost completed from Dart, they're just going to group up, I think. This Luna is just farming way too fast compared to the Faceless Void. You know, we've seen finally that Kukulhooki starting to put himself towards a triangle with this Maelstrom completed so he can kind of get the Ancients farm, but yeah, this Luna's really starting to get some pace away from the Void.
Bottom lane?
Bottom lane? Migi as well. Eclipse just instantly used from Darden. The chain control was perfect. Didn't even have an opportunity for the Flesh Heap.
And the thing is, without the tower, they can't TP to save him, so a little bit of an odd place for you to be farming on this Pudge, considering Luna, Ogre, they'd been off the map for a while, and you know exactly where a POS 1 Luna with this steroid from the Bloodlust is going to be farming. It's all around the jungle. You are super capable of taking it, and I was mentioning before, all the different stuns that they've got on Ravens to be able to stop the Blink Dismember when he eventually does go for it. That means that you only need this 1 point in the Fire Blast. You're not worried about damage right now. You've got plenty through the rest of your heroes. It's all about just making sure the Luna's doing exactly what she is and extending that net worth lead.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's going to have to be incredible spell casting coming out from Dreamers. You know, it is 6,000 gold deficit. They have the ultimates to be able to find them way back into this game. You need some big chronos and arenas. They're going to be turning their eyes to Benjaz. A smoke up. It's just a Visage in the lane. Close to the tier 2 tower, but the rotation's probably going to be a little bit too late with the Mortimer Kisses dropped. They're going to have the damage to kill him off before the Stormform, but now Dire, they come on top. They know that all the ultimates were used. They want to capitalize on this. Although the Echo Flow is going to be fine. Silence into the Dissimulate, gets the reposition. Now he's going to go back in for the Pudge instead, as Migi is in trouble for the moment. The spear is not going to get enough distance away, so Lysix has to use a defensive BKB. He should be okay with the Bulwark, but that's a 2 for 1. And with everything on cooldown, the Visage is going to respawn, and they're going to go for objectives.
Do they go for Roche? I mean, no Chrono, no Arena. Feels like, and no Mortimer's Kisses as well. Feels like the ideal option.
Clockwork doing some shenanigans, I'm not quite sure. I guess he had a TP to go back as well, but I mean, that's big. 30 seconds with no Clockwork, which could be your counter initiation in the pit when you don't have Chrono or Arena. Yep, very true. So yeah, that just guarantees Roche now.
feel like these inflatable pigs or donkeys are way too big, man.
They are.
The one outside the roach pit. It actually, you need to channel it for a couple of seconds to like inflate it as well. It's kind of silly.
Can you like half inflate it?
I'm not sure. I haven't actually used it. I've just seen teammates like channel it for 2 seconds. I'm like, all right, hope you don't die as you're doing that as we're trying to push high ground.
There we go. Aegis picked up. First one of the game. We'll be playing with this second life for 5 minutes. And really, this should be the Aegis to get all the map control. Top lane, they might be able to get the Snapfire as well. They have detection. They have detection?
Nope.
Dire are scanning.
Oh no, the courier. It's coming. Nope, just with TPs though, he's fine. Why'd you leave?
What's...
Slowly bonk him down.
So much time wasted, honestly.
Why? No! Why?
I don't
What's
know.
the point?
I don't know. In the river, Dismar.
They could get Dismar.
God, they might be able to, but the rest of the team are coming. They're not killing him fast enough. Kukul's going to get the BKB
usage.
off, so the damage for the Eclipse is going to be heavily negated. But Kukul's
he's
got
on his
nowhere to
own.
go. He jumps to the left side, but Niagara
no.
and Benjas, they were just waiting, anticipating that movement out to the secret shop. They block off the escape, and they kill off the carry.
He needed his boys. He needed his boys there with him. I mean, even just the Snapfire, right? He had the Chronosphere available. The way that I'm wanting Dreamers to play these next couple of fights is just try and find a time where Ravens are away from Dart. The rest of the 4, those are the main ones that you're looking to take down, because really, that's all that Faceless Void is scared of right now. If you use the BKB, only the Luna can look to kill you. I'm really not all that concerned about what a Visage and the Familiars are going to be able to do. So if you could just isolate one of the others, that's a pretty big win.
Are they going to stick around? Oh, wow. Okay. I thought maybe with tier 3 towers, they are content with that. But Void's going to respawn shortly with Chrono, so they are respecting them. They're going to back off. Look to take the last outer tower.
Middle tower is under attack.
Very close to the Daedalus as well. Almost completed from Dar. This is going to be full map control now for Ravens, and they still have ample time to play with on the Aegis.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Getting close to that Aghanim shard as well on good old Ogre McGee. So that's going to provide a little bit of that protection inside of the Chronosphere. You've already got the Wraith Pack to be able to do it, so just anything additional is going to be uber helpful.
Go for the hook! Oh no,
Oh,
they see him.
no.
Oh, the toss into the familiars. Kuka hook? That's
Good,
an incredible
okay.
Chrono with the Mortimer Kisses as well. They're going to be able to get one. They'll get the second life as well afterwards, but have they used too much for the initial side of the team fight? Miki
I think they're
hooks
pretty happy.
Benjaz back inside the base. The Aghanim Shard comes out in the nick of time, and now this is all Dire's team fight to reign supreme. A toss in once again from Dismar. Niengo Flow's got the follow-up. 4 down, couple of buybacks are there, but without the ultimates, there's no way they can stop the siege.
Man, that was so close to being incredible for them. Almost taking out the Visage there takes away a huge portion of the damage. Would have been another 2 boots of bearings that he's able to use as a result of that.
Oh,
They're
not
just trying to get
again.
this free kill.
Not like
Oh,
this.
yeah. Oh, yes. Especially in the elimination game coming through. Zika, he's trying his best to man fight. They're playing with him a little bit here. It has to feel so discouraging, though. So your Peruvian countrymen looking to come through, and yeah, Zika will fall with the dieback. These players have a lot of pride, though. They're going to be looking to play all the way to the death, and unfortunately for Dreamers, this might be it for them in the TI qualifiers.
Naked Creeps now on the cards. They might even stick around for tier 4s if they want. They still know when the Void respawns, he does not have Chrono. I was like, yeah, let me deal with some of the buffer buildings.
They're feeling themselves on Ravens. They're showing that, you know, when we get able to play all of our games, then you know, we can show a lot. We've got the skill, we've got the talent, we've got the drafting style. That we're something to be threatened with. You know, upper bracket. Who's it for?
Losers.
There we go. That's the more PG version of what the quote is, but we'll go with it.
I am not saying that word.
Mm-hmm.
The PG stream, remember?
That's true. Didn't stop you yesterday, though.
Oh, I didn't even say something crazy. I can get nutty with it, don't you worry. You want me to turn this?
You know I can get nutty as well, all right? You've seen me in green rooms. Anyway, they're going for a last-ditch attempt here. 4-man smoke coming through, using Miggy as a little bit of bait, perhaps. You need to throw him on the front lines, though. You can't just have him slowly dawdling into a lot of these team fights. Dismar would be a decent
Dismar in the
one.
lane. Kara's behind him as well.
There's the
There's no
coordination.
damage for it. They have to mortimer kisses for the tiny, and that's not what you want. You need the kisses for a big chronosphere. But now without the damage being inside the bubble, Niengo Flow double damage him from one to the next. He goes jumping
one
on
down.
four with 0 cares in the world. Google
Okay, not bad.
Still a double chrono, but where's the damage? It's just not there. Wraith packed off to the right side. All the damage mitigations out. And with the ultimates being expended and no one
They're
left
already calling
standing. The G's are dropped. And unfortunate for Dreamers Esports, they will be eliminated from the TI-11 qualifiers.
It wasn't to be a dream for them this time around. Ravens getting a pretty clean win. 29 minutes coming through and just looking dominant throughout both of those games. I thought that draft did, in my opinion, look a little bit better. It just came down to some of the executions, right? We weren't counting them, but the hooks coming through from the Pudge, maybe if you landed a few more, you get a few of those early kills. You use that to transition into towers. You lessen the